Hello everyone, and welcome back to Space Engineers. There are a couple of things that I want to do in this episode. The first thing is fix our autominers so that they will start mining and will continue to do so between reloads of the game. And the second thing that I want to do is I want to make the assembly room right here airtight. Alright, first things first. Let's bring our ships back. And we might not wait for them to actually get back here. We might get on with the assembly room while they are traveling back. So we want the remote control here. And I'm going to... Okay, it's set to go to the home waypoint. I'll just switch on autopilot. That should be enough. And let's check. Wait, that's Ant Mark 1. So let's go to Ant Mark 2. And remote control. Just remove both of these. And... home waypoint, add, and let's put one way forward autopilot on. I just want to double check Ant Mark 1 is also set to one way and forward. One way forward. And while we're here, let's just check what it's doing. It seems to be on its way back, which is great. Let me also check Ant Mark 2. Camera, view. Also seems to be on its way back. That's great. Okay, it'll take them a few minutes to get back here, and I'm not going to wait around. Let's go and see if we can get on with fixing the assembly room. Which shouldn't be too difficult, actually. I think it's just a case of, like we talked about in the last episode, it should be just a case of putting in some blocks up in the roof to cover this thing up. What that really means is to take all these blocks off, these connectors off, not connectors, these tubes off, and putting them up there. Was worried that would happen. I'll just put some of that away. Pick that up.
Meteor storm inbound.
Not yet. Put some of that away. Maybe that'll be enough. There we go. So what we want to do is, and I'm pretty sure that we don't actually need a conveyor junction right there. We do need a conveyor junction up at the top because we want that to connect to that conveyor junction there, which probably doesn't need, actually that might need to be a conveyor junction. Okay, so let's put in some blocks just around here. That I need some steel plates, which is why I left that unwelded for now. So this should be essentially all we need to do, but I won't put this one in just yet. I want to be able to access that one easily and build it in. So let me put in some connectors, some conveyor tubes, and we just need one more that connects both of these together, and that's about it. So let me weld these up. Ooh. Welding them up. Easy. Okay, so let me weld these couple other ones up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so that should be that back connected up, and I'll just finish off this this as well. And technically, that should be that section airtight, except of course for this block, which I will fix right now. And that should be it. Easy way to test it. Let me just open. Oh, this door is already open. Oh, there we go. Wait a minute. That's on green. Did we run out of ice? That is entirely possible. Nope. 49.2k ice, 49.3k. Did I break the connection back to here? Actually, you know, there is an easy way for me to get out there without taking blocks off. Which is just up through here. Let's just get up here. And let's see. Nope, that should be okay. Something seems to be amiss. Oh, how do we get out of here? Go through there. Oh, let's check if our cargo containers are fully connected. So CC Yep, so they're connected. And the O2, let's try and pick up maybe... Oops, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I can pick up ice. So it connects all the way through to there. So what is... And this is not orange, that's green. That should mean that it's working. Room pressure 0%. Huh. So it's thinking that it should be able to oxygen pressurize, but the room pressure is 0%. Let me try opening this door as well and see what happens. Go to low. Now this might be the case where we don't have enough vents pressurizing the base. Okay, saying O2 high now. Between those three vents, do we now have enough to fill the base? Yeah. So that the issue we had there was that we just didn't have enough vents to fill the whole base from what I can see, which seems to be resolved now with all three vents active. Now, if we were to close these doors in some way, then some of these rooms wouldn't pressurize. So to fix that, we should really have vents in each room. So let's fix that actually. And the rooms will get depressurized while we try to fix it. But I'm wondering if I should do this the better. I'll have to break a hole through here anyway. Now the question is, where do we put that vent? I want to put it somewhere. Actually, I don't have to put it where I can see it. I can put it probably behind that section. And since most of these aren't airtight, as we found out the hard way, the air should filter in. So I might actually do that from the outside. Okay, so we can just go all the way up through to here. So we just, I mean, the main goal is really to have at least one vent in each enclosed room. I mean, the halls don't really matter that much because they're small enough that you could just open them and they will get enough air in there. So I'm thinking that we could maybe put a block just out here. Oh, yeah, we could probably put a vent there.
Inventory full.
Oops, inventory full. That I should fix that by picking up whatever I dropped. Yeah, but that might be oh, actually I can fix that in a roundabout way, which is just chuck them on the floor here, and then I can pick that up. Now I probably don't need to actually do this because the vent doesn't take up a whole block. It's like a half block. So that should be fine. So let me just, right, so I can put this there, but to be able to actually put the vent in, I'll probably have to take this off just so I can get in there. And I'm not sure where I have a vent set up. There it is. 6. Now I should be able to just pop that there. Probably don't have all the parts for it. And on the bright side, I can probably weld that up from here. Yeah, I can. So let me block that back up. And fortunately, there's some steel plate lying right there, which I left around earlier. Let me weld that up. I'll be right back. Okay. And what I will also do is I will actually name it. So, okay, remote access. Is that our base? I think so. So we'll look for the air vent. This is the last one we created, is the main one, and we'll just say that that's in the assembly room. So if we ever need to find it for whatever reason, we know exactly what that's called. Now we've got 3 air vents there. That will be the one in the control room. And this is air vent 1, cargo bay. I might actually take one off because I don't want 2 in there, and I probably also don't want them. I'm not sure how I feel about having them on the cargo container themselves. And arguably it looks a little ugly. Yeah, it might look a little bit unattractive, but I'll take one off. And I'm realizing my inventory is going to be full. Let me just pop some things in here. Don't need... Oh, thought I only took just enough, but okay. Oh, I must have taken that off from here. That's okay. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure about putting this vent here. I probably want to put it somewhere a little bit less unattractive, but that probably involves putting a hole in the ceiling. Or maybe I can put the vent right there, but that would mean running piping to there, which could be complicated if I'm going to use the wall on the other side. I mean, I could put it here. Yeah, I'll think about it. Let me just name this correctly, though. So I'll just call that again air vent cargo bay. So that takes care of that, and the space is fully pressurized. Now if I open this door, yep, fully pressurized, because this room is pressurized as well. Fully pressurized, good stuff. Now the only room that currently doesn't have a vent now is the refinery room. And the refinery room has the same problem that the storage room has, the cargo bay has, in that it just doesn't have a convenient place where I can... Oh, I can actually hide a vent there. I can hide a vent up above that section because that section is not airtight. Finding it will be a little bit trickier. No, it's not, because I can probably dig a hole right in... So this is one section of the refinery. So if I put a hole... I dig a hole there or there. Yeah. Oh, I probably should have closed some doors before I did that. See how that air escaped? That means that that whole space... Oh, that whole space, it will pressurize the base through there if I was to use it. So let me just move some things out of here so that I can pick that stuff up. Is that all? Is all that dropped down there? So what we are wanting to do is we want to put... Actually, we'll put the vent first, because that's going to be the one that's a little bit more difficult to place. And then we'll put the conveyor junction there. Okay, that means that I will need to weld one of these things out. Yeah, I will need to weld this out to be able to... Or grind that out to be able to weld that up. Okay, let me weld these couple of things up. I'll be right back. Okay, so that's the air vent set up. Oh, I put all my steel plates back. Let me just pick up a few. That's all I need. And there we go. So that should be the refinery room as well. Now completely airtightable by itself. Now, I don't think there is actually an easy way to test that. There is. If I close this door and I close this door and I just make a hole here, that's all the air escaping. So there is no oxygen in this room now. But if I now put that back and weld it up, there we go. Low, and it'll get to high in a second. There we go. Perfect. So this whole base is now pressurized. So I can just take my helmet off. There we go. And I'll show you that person. If I can just put my lights off as well. See? No helmet. How's that? No helmet at all. Just take that off as well. Helmet? No helmet. Okay. So I will need to be aware of the fact that I don't have a helmet, or when I go out like this will happen. So let me just put my helmet back on. So there are those two ships just hanging about at that waypoint, and I'll need to park them. I'm glad that they're not running into each other. So let me just go in here. Let's do Ant Mark 1 first. So remote control. I'll just, actually before I do that, let me make sure that the drills are in a block, because I can see that they're on, and that'll annoy me when I am trying to control it. So now what I need is the remote control. So let me just control that. Oh, it's got the camera as well. I probably want to get it, switch the cameras off so I can block on and off. One. Okay, so that's less noise, but I do not want the camera there because I'm going to guide it from where I'm standing. So remote control, and let me just switch the camera off. And camera, none. And control. Control. Where's this guy? Oops, I can't really see. Okay, so he's facing kind of like that. Okay, fine. So I'll just move that one over to there. Back over to us. And then I'll just bring it over to park. Ooh, 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 ooh. Not too far. Don't want you crashing. Okay, just like that. And I can just bring it down. Not entirely sure where its connector is. Might have to move forward myself to be able to see. Oh, not that bad. So Ant Mark 1, pretty close, right? So remote control, and where is the control? Yeah, control. Hey, why are you not? How come you're stuck there? What are you? Doesn't make sense. Oh, there we go. There we go. So that's that parked. And let's park that guy. I'll just come down here so I can see that one as well. So Mark 2, remote control, control. Okay, so I think I'll just switch that off. I'm not sure if that is the top. So, okay, that's the wrong way. So I think I just need to turn it all the way around. I just know that because I was wanting it to go to the right and it was going to the left, so it was clearly upside down. Now I'm just going to turn it all the way around there. It feels like it needs more gyroscopes. That's okay. Maybe if I do another version of this. But then again, I'm not really supposed to be manually controlling this much. So I'm just going to move it so it's facing the right way. Back. Oops. What I meant. Okay. Now, fairly sure that this one's connector is right about there somewhere. Huh. Okay, I'm just gonna, oh, too far forward. Oops. And Mark 2, remote control, once again. Okay. Yep. More. Oh, there we go. So, both of these guys are now connected. We need to update the script. I saw that RDAV has updated it with a few fixes, including this one. So let me get that on here. I think the simplest way for me to do that is how I did in that tutorial, which is to plonk a projector up here. Haven't used beacons in a while, so that's fine. So I'll just let's see, how did I pop it? So oh, I cannot remember. Oh, it was like so, I think. Pop that there. More versions, large sticky tubes. Oops, wrong thing. Large sticky tubes. Okay, now I need a control panel, which I'll just use the one there. And projector, blueprints, and RDAVs. AI autominer script. And let's see how that's projected it. Oh. Did it project it inside? I have a feeling... No? Where did it project it?
Meteor storm inbound.
Okay, so... I am not sure what's going on there. That looks like a battery. I don't see anything else. Let me try maybe rotating it. Oh, so it's only got 6 blocks this time. Corner light, 1 programmable block, 1 rotor, 1 LCD panel, or 2 LCD panels, and 1 battery. So it looks like maybe I'm just looking at it the wrong way. So I'm not sure how that would work. Okay, let me... I need to be... Oh, actually I have an easier way of doing this. Because I have access to the antenna, so let me just look at it sideways. So I can see it from the corner there. And then I just need to access the static grid. And then I can look at the projector. And now I can just do it here. So I just want to... So that doesn't help. Okay, so that looks like it's mostly out here now. Yeah, that's looking better. So I just want... So that's a rotor. I just want to weld just enough of that. That work? Can't really tell. Yeah, so that I can weld this thing up. Yeah, which is just a programmable block, and all I need is 1 display. So let me go get that. Not hard. 1 display, easily done. Okay, so the version that we have of the script is 1. Let's see what version. What? What's happening? Programmable block. Let me access it. Why won't you let me access? I need to weld that up. Okay, maybe I can access it through our static grid. So we've got programmable block, that one. Okay, so let me go into here and let's see what version we have. There was a version variable here, so this is version 2. So I'm just going to copy that. And just do what we did last time when we set these up. Just go onto here and update it. So edit. Actually, let me just take this off. So edit, Control A, Control V. And one thing that I do want to change is thrust count override false, because we do, I think this one has more than 15 thrusters. Yeah, so that's working. We'll do the same thing over here. So F, edit, and you'll see here, just to show you, version is 001. We're just going to paste it in. And now it'll say version 002, and we need to make this false again. False. Check code. Remember and exit. So it's back now. What we'll do now is if I remember, we are sending this off to mine the iron and uranium. So we will do that again. And it's in here, autominer, that one. So copy to clipboard, control panel, programmable block, and we need to set that up here. So none of this stuff has changed, except there should be not. Oh, I sent the wrong one, didn't I? Okay, and mark 2 TB. Oops, not there. Custom data. I guess it doesn't matter. Let that one do that, and I'll send the other one to the other. Okay, I'll send AndMark 1 to where AndMark 2 was supposed to go. So I'll just trade it around. So that one is supposed to go to there. So copy to clipboard, control panel, custom data, control V. Okay. Should be standing further away from that. I'll just check them from the distance. So AndMark 1, PB, and if I go into custom data, that is supposed to go to automine 3. Oh, NIFEAG. Oh yeah, so that's AndMark 1, right? Yeah. So that'll go off and mine the nickel, and AndMark 1 will, AndMark 2 will mine the uranium and iron. So I'm hoping, well, let's just check here, custom data. Yeah, iron and uranium. Now, obviously the main one that we're interested in there is uranium, but the only other thing that asteroid has, if I remember, is iron. Now, we should no longer have to get that one to come back at the end of an episode. That should be fixed. We'll check it the next time we load up an episode. The only main thing that we need to do now, or we can do now, is get rid of this, and I don't want all that stuff falling on the floor, so let me just empty my inventory a little bit. Put stuff away. Okay. Empty inventory. So just grind that off. There we go. Oops. There's something happening here. There we go. So that's that done. Now, there is the big question of what do we do next? And I'm not entirely sure what we want to do next. We talked about what did we talk about? We talked about a reactor room. We talked about a hangar. Those are two big options. We can also do a ship, because the first big goal after building this is really to go to the moon. And going to the moon involves building a big ship, and particularly with a hyper jump, with a jump drive, because I don't want to spend 25 minutes. I think it takes 25 minutes if you're going to go at 100 meters per second. I don't really want to spend 25 minutes to try and get to the moon. I would much prefer to jump. Now, we don't know the exact location of the moon, so I might try kind of like part blind jumps to try and get there, and it might take a few jumps for us to get there, but that's kind of the plan I have for trying that. So I think those are three like main things that we can try. One thing I want to check is here. We go through here. There's gravity here because we fixed that. We end up in this space. Oh, I do have the light on. So there is a corridor. There is a hole in the asteroid basically here. Okay, so I want to know where this takes us out. That's a big gap that we can use if we so wanted to, because Oh, so that's actually just right here. That is right in the front of the base. So there is a section here somewhere that we can't see right now because it is too dark. That goes inside our base. I'm going to try that again. Because that's kind of what I wanted. Because once we have that, we would need to set up blocks all the way to the end. We would need to set up that section of the base. But what that means for us is that, I'll show you. That can be the entrance or the connection between our base and the hangar. So if we start laying down blocks here. Oh, we can see something from here actually. Oh, that's through that section, how we would get out all the way to the other end. So if we start laying down blocks here, and if we could have a door or a doorway into this space, which takes us inside the base. Yeah, I think that could work. The one problem we've got here is that there is an incline going up this way, which is unfortunate. I wish I did this without an incline, in which case this would have felt a lot nicer. But we will need to set out blocks all the way to the end so that we know exactly where the blocks are supposed to align. This does also mean that we need to redo. So maybe actually that's what we will start working on. So that kind of gets two birds with one stone. We will leave that section exactly like that. So let me pick up some stairs. Let's see. I might actually... Do I need anything else other than stairs? Just put them here actually. Stairs. There we go. Now, I want it going right out from here. So I'll just put it right there like that. Well, sort of. I want it the other way. And one up. So how come that won't work? Maybe because I need a block underneath it. Does that work? Yeah. So that is great. So what we need to do... Or do you think we should have one more block opening out into that space before we get into the stairs? Or do we want it straight out of the door? You know what? I think this might be too close. Let me put another block here. Yeah, block there. And then I will put the stairs on top of it. And I can do that from here, so I can see it properly. So this would come up like this, and I would put another block on this side, so I can put another one on top of it. Come on. Or might need to drill out some of this area so that I can fit these things, but let me just see here. Yeah, I think I will almost certainly have to drill it out. Yeah, looks like it. Let's go down here, and yeah, okay, so let me just take this bit off. I mean, a lot of this thing is because when we first did it, the stairs started right inside here, and now we're pushing it 2 blocks out, so we've got a bit more space to kind of clean up. So that takes care of that. And here we're going to put another block just on the floor there, if we could get clear. And we're going to put the stairs on top of that. Yep, just like that. And we'll just clear some of this out. It's very sticky. What's going on? Yeah. Okay. So that takes care of the stairs right up to about there. We'll need to clear some of this space around it. And these are a very long set of stairs, so it'll be a lot of exercise if you're going to run up them. But that's okay. We're going to have to clear some of this space out. And we will turn it to get into this hole. And we will turn it at the top, because we could turn it at the bottom. We could have a turn and then have the stairs go up through here. But we'll do it at the top in this particular case. Just because, well, partly because I've already gotten this far and I don't want to have to mine all of that section up. And I think this will look okay. I think this will look fine. I'm not sure how it would look. I think this feels less claustrophobic. If you're looking through the door, you see that there is something going on. If you put it one to the left, then when you're looking through the door, you'd just be seeing a wall because the stairs are on the other side. Which, you know, I guess it might be a personal taste sort of thing. So one more. I think we might need one more set of stairs. We might do it that way. We might need another set here so that it kind of ties in with how we're going to join into that corridor. But we'll sort that out later. Let me just see if I can place it. Okay, I'm going to just take some of this iron off. Create a bit of space. And let's see now. Okay. So we've got a block. No. Why don't you want to place there? Ah, that's odd. That should be placed. Oh, there we go. Oh, there must just have been little bits of rock stuck on the floor there. So, and we'll just put a set of stairs on top of that. And that takes us pretty close to the height here. Now that probably means that I want it one set higher actually. Because I want it to meet, like part way up that corridor is where I want it to kind of come together. So let me do another block there, if it'll let me. Yep. And then I will put one set of stairs on top of that, and I'll tidy up this and that. And what we'll do,
Meteor storm inbound.
very good chunk there. Okay, so what we will do now is we'll put in a... Oh, we need to wait for some of this to clear. Okay, go ahead. Come on, little rocks. There we go. So we will start to put blocks down, maybe like so. Yeah, it looks like if we start to put blocks down here, it elevates very quickly, and we might need more stairs in here, or we might have to use, actually, could we use diagonal blocks like the how would we do it? We want it to go up, so we would use the tip there, not there. We would actually want to put it on top. So if I put a couple of blocks there, just like that, and then if I put it like that, it's not. There we go. I don't want the tip, I want that. Now that's a kind of a slight gradient going up. And Actually, at this point, we could put the blocks just flush with that. Put a couple there. We could have a kind of a tapered kind of look going up like so. That would tie in with the gradient of this tunnel. Yeah, that might be okay. So let me lay some of this stuff down here. I'm not sure how wide we're going to make this corridor yet. Oops. Yep, that did go in the right place. So right now we've got what? 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. I'm not sure exactly how this corridor fits into that kind of scheme. Let's try it. Let's just start building this together. Oops. I want this that, and I want it to. So that takes care of that. And then we would have the base going along there. Like that. And then our full blocks just on the end there. And I guess we would have only enough space for one set there before we would have to do the tapering again, which is okay. So taper, and that is the base. So yep, right there. Oops, triplet. Good thing is I've got a reactor sitting right here, which I can just sneak into to get myself some steel plates. While I'm there though, I put all of these other things away which we don't need. I'll just pick up steel plates. Yeah, I think that might look okay. I mean, part of the issue here is really how much of the cave we would be able to preserve. And I have no idea actually whether I would be able to make this airtight without putting these things all around it. Does it consider this rock to be airtight? We will have to wait and see. 3, 4. Because if I make the end of this, if I just block that section up, would it be considered airtight? We'll have to see. So this section, it looks like, is at too much of an elevation, and I would need to raise it again. Can't put any more there. We'll have to probably tidy some of these sections up anyway. So this one is the base. Just there, yeah. I'll just try and fit one on the edge there as well. Yeah. That kind of looks okay. So it looks like... So it really does look like at the end here, it got substantially higher. As in the gradient seems to have increased. Which is okay. So we might have to figure out how to deal with that. And, you know, one of the options is to just don't let the gradient go up anymore. We'll just dig a hole, you know, straight through parallel to gravity and just hope that fixes it. But let's just see how far we can get here. I'm just wondering about whether... Oh, we are almost up at the top here. If we can't get this airtight, would we still want to use this cave, this tunnel in the same way? Yeah, because that's how we get to this hole. If we go straight through... Well, once we start putting lights around here, we'll know if we would be able to get that, actually. So let me put a few blocks. Just going to... I want to test airtightness. This is not necessarily how the end of this base is going to be, But since that is the edge of that kind of cave system or of our tunnel, I want to just put blocks here that will cover up this whole space. Okay, so that's that wall. Oh, I missed a couple here. Let me just do those. And there's a space there, which is now fixed. I think that looks... Oh, there's a space there, which is now fixed. So visually, a quick visual inspection shows that that's probably, at least visually, airtight. Now, the issue that we've got here to be able to test this is that there are lots of gaps in here and out there and out there and possibly even through there. So what we will do in the next episode, since we're pretty much out of time, is we will build a roof and we might extend... Not sure exactly how we would do that, actually. I might need to have a think about it. This is going to be our floor here, and that is too high for that roof. That would have been quite nice if that lined up perfectly to this. We will extend this roof out. Actually, we don't even need to extend... we might just make a hall here, actually. Yeah. So we would start off by just putting blocks, starting there, and just walling it up. Now, I am not sure how... Yeah, we might have to dig out some of these, this iron deposits on this side and on this side, so we can clear enough space to bring that wall up. We would want that... We don't need it to go all the way down to the bottom, because we already know that the folds, like these sections, like from here to there, even if we don't have that block underneath it. So I'll show you up here, actually, where we have a bit more space. So if we do a section like this, so if we've got a block there, and we have a block there, and we have a block there, how would that even fit? So if I now take this block off, oh, we will put the block down, but we don't necessarily have to weld it up. So if we do it like this, so we are tapering it going up each time, we don't have to weld this block up, this particular block that I'm pointing at to be... Sorry. Oh, we don't need to weld... Sorry. Now I remember. We don't need to put a block there. We can taper it up. So we can go up like so. This block will hold on to that block, and we'll just taper it up slowly, going up the way, right up to the top. The roof we will do at the end, once we've determined how the wall works and looks. And this is just going to be a long corridor. I mean, we could have a bigger room here, kind of like with a wall there. And we could have something underneath in that area. Yeah, we could put like a reactor in there, or a couple of reactors in there. We could have used that for our storage bay, actually, because there will be a large amount of space there. And I am even inclined to leave it as rock. We might not use blocks. Or leave it as these iron deposits. We might not use blocks. Just give it a kind of, I don't know, a different feel. As long as we can get airtightness. So, but if we want to do that, we will need to put a roof, and we can do all of that. So I will have a think about it. We might actually take the roof from here and drag it all the way across to there. Or we might take the floor from here and drag it all the way out to there, and then just bring it down. So we would have a large space here that we could use for whatever, really. And once we've got that, just at the end here, we will put up a higher roof that will cover. Maybe we'll have to check. We might need to taper that up as well. Yeah, we might need to taper that up as well, right up to the top there. But to start off with, we'll just put a roof or a roof at the top right there and drag it down into a wall so that this whole area will be enclosed, and then we can test if these walls, if these cave walls, if these tunnel walls will provide air tightness. Shortly after that, we might start putting in some lights so we can see what the hell is going on here, and we'll take it from there. I hope you guys enjoyed joining me on this episode. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.